Folks, welcome to a new video. In today's episode, I'm going to show you how you can create a RESTful web service with NestJS. NestJS is a progressive Node.js framework for building efficient, reliable, and scalable server-side applications. So just head over to documentation and we are going to install our needed npm packages, which is the NestJS CLI. So right now I'm here on the Windows machine and I'm just pulling the latest version from the Node registry and I am installing the CLI. As you guys know, without a sponsor these videos would not be possible. So thank you very much for today's sponsor, which is Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning platform which is highly affordable. I personally love the fact that with one subscription, you get so many different high-quality videos from all different fields out there. You can learn about coding, filmmaking, marketing, animation, UI UX design, and so on. So there is limitless possibilities. One of my favorite things in software development, as you guys probably know, is clean code. And guess what? On Skillshare is a lovely course from Christian Hallman, senior developer at Microsoft from Berlin, about the JavaScript toolkit Write Cleaner, Faster and Better Code. I highly respect Christian and can recommend his class without any doubt. You will just learn how to write elegant, clean and better code in the future. If you're completely new in the world of software development and clean code is just a phrase which confuses you, don't worry more. There are plenty of beginner courses on Skillshare as well. So it doesn't matter if you are a beginner, intermediate or expert developer or in your specific field. You can always and will always learn more on Skillshare, I guarantee you that. What have you done? Skillshare and I partnered up so that the first 1,000 users who uses my link in the description to sign up get a free membership trial of Skillshare Premium. And now let's get back into the regular video. Alright, the CLI is installed, so for next purpose I'm jumping over to my dev directory, which is right under the C. I'm going to create a new directory which I will call nest demo. I am jumping into this demo application, and in the next step we can create a Nest application with the CLI. As you probably have seen before, you can also use the provided template solution from GitHub, but since this is a tutorial, I just want to go step by step and install it. Yeah, as you probably would. Don't use the template, just go with the CLI commands. Alright, so Nest is our main keyword. Then with new, you tell the CLI that you want to create a new project, and let's just call it demo project for now. Alright, so the demo files are created. Now you can use your packaging or package manager. In my case, it is npm. So npm is now pulling all the needed packages from the internet on or into the node modules folder of this specific project. So as you can see here, right on top, our files have been created, and the modules, the services, the controllers are TypeScripts, or they have the TS ending, so we do get type safety here with NestJS. All the other things are basically standard things. ESLint, a prettier file is there. Nest CLI for the command line interface. We do get tests which are run by Jest, or just end-to-end tests. To be more specific, we do get spec files for the created controllers and so on. Alright, now our demo project is finished, so we can jump into the demo file. And let's open up this folder with VS Code. Alright, as we have seen before, we do see our source directory. We got our main TS, which is bootstrapping here, Nest factory, and releasing at port 3000 for the moment. We do have our app service, which is just returning a string with hello world, and the module. So this is basically very similar, or it is building on Angular. So we do have here some module files where we can import controllers providers. If you only have one module file, this is totally fine. And here is our actual REST controller. We do see with the get attribute that this is a get endpoint on the app, and we are calling getHello, or getHello is our function, and we're returning the result of our app service, and that should be hello world as we have seen before. Alright, so let's jump quickly in our package.json where we see all the files or the scripts we can run from our terminal. Yeah, at the beginning probably start dev is the best, or just start. So let's go over and call npm run start. Now the application is building and it's running with a development server, as you're probably familiar if you do have worked with any kind of modern front end or basically Node framework before. Alright, starting the application. So it seems that the application is already started. Anything else? So let's jump over localhost 3000, and as you probably has guessed or not, we do see hello world here. So that is the result of this hello world, hello community. If we had started the application with the watch attribute, if you're seen here in the package, or the dev attribute, which is adding the -- watch, we do get hot reloading. In this case, if I just run it without, we don't. So let's just start it with the dev portion. So we do have watch capabilities. All right, and now we see community, and if we hop over to the service and put it back to start, we see that the application itself is not reloading. That's the reason, because we're calling the endpoints. But if we just manually refresh the site, we do get our very new hello start message again. All right, so as we see here, we got the get. This is basically without any routes. So usually if you have a controller which is representing a REST endpoint, you do have a resource, and then you have your actions. So with NestJS, it's pretty easy to maintain those routes. Yeah, you just add a string in your add controller configuration. So let's just build a controller, a new controller with the CLI. Alright, so we just want to add a new controller, and for this the command is nest generate. So as I mentioned in the beginning, if you're familiar with Angular, you know the ng generate command for generating component services. In Nest it is pretty much the same, just with a nest keyword in front, and then for controller you can use the full spelled out controller or the Neliers CO. So in our case, we just open up a new terminal, and then we say nest generate controller cats. And as you guys have seen, or you can see it there, to say it the better way, a controller is generated, the spec file for the tests is generated, and in the app module the controller is added. Cats controller. I mean, it's up to you if you are using the singular version of a controller or the plural. In this specific test case, I just used the plural. Probably it is better to use the singular version. Alright, so we can see right there in our controller configuration, we do see that we have here the cat's resource endpoint and the class. And right now we have to just simply go into our class, made a get attribute, very much the same like in our app controller. We do here see the get, and then just the function which is eventually called from the get endpoint. So get cats in this case, and we are just returning an array of Miami I know, that are very Yoko Ono. These days it is very common to name your cats like any kind of city or so. Very common in my country is Felix, you name it, Garfield probably, to put in some other ones. So right now we do see here that we get a new controller with a get endpoint, get cats, and this should be returning our list of cats in an array. Yeah, that should be automatically mapped, yeah, to say the least. So right now we're going back to our local host. We're just reloading one more time. We type in cats, and we see right there that we do get the specific array that we have configured here. All right, now let's say we want a specific resource with specific ID, yeah? That is basically, or that is usually in every REST endpoint. So for this, we do get some route IDs that we can simply extract. So in this case, it is the same as our standard get all, but in this case we do get an ID. Yeah. So right now we can say get cat by ID, and the ID is just a passed object from above. So just to make it a little bit more clear, just return our get cats list. Alright, we're just moving the array list there, and we have to rename this function because it's the same. So let's call it get all cats, just to be more precise. And we're returning. Alright, so we're returning the list of all cats, and in our specific get by ID function, we are not really using the ID because in our string list we don't have our string array we don't have an ID, so we are using the index to return. Yeah. So in this case, at first I will just load in all cats. Surely you can make this much more much shorter, but yeah, I just want to do I really want to? I'm not sure. So we're returning our cats array and the index of ID. All right. So in a production environment, you will, or you would, make some input validation because we do have some problems here. If the index is not a number, we do have a problem. If the index is much greater than the length of this array, yeah, before we can use this, we have to use a very specific syntax right there in our function, and that is the param add param with ID. That's basically from our route, and the ID should be, in our case, not a string but a number. Alright, so we have added the param, and now if we're going back into our application and we're looking for cats and the index of 0, we do have Miami, which is the first. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Garfield should be 5. And if we have something higher than 5, we do get nothing back. But the application in the backend should throw an error, which is held by the Nest framework itself. So that was a very quick, very short, very fast introduction into Nest.js and how it is set up, how you can use controllers, custom controllers, and retrieve data by resources. So I have seen here we do have something missing, get all cats, so that is should be functioning as intended. This is a very short tutorial. The reason is I don't want to go too much into detail because the video otherwise would be 1, 2, 3 hours. So I just made one here right now to create a demo project, to create a resource, in our case cats, and so you can return it. The next video will probably be about creating resources with post and updating them with put, and basically deleting it. Yeah, so that would be our next videos. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you do have any question about Nest or REST servers in general, just ask them in the comments below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.